do, I'd like for our first speaker is going to be Moriel, who jumped in last minute, which is just awesome. And I'd love for his evaluator, Adelina, to please share his objectives for his speech.
Absolutely, Dane. Moriel's objectives tonight, he is presenting the second speech from evaluation and feedback, and the purpose is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback and apply the feedback to a second speech, and demonstrate that he has applied the feedback received from his first speech. And he would like me to look in particular for his feeling comfortable and appearing as if he is enjoying himself. So now you all know, so watch for that. You
Awesome.
got this, Moriel. I'm excited to report whenever called upon to do so. So back today.
Thank you. All right. As an educator, student, and mentor to his younger brother, Moriel will share the single habit which helped him build his confidence and ultimate progress in Toastmasters. Please put your hand for Moriel. Jump, Moriel. Moriel with jump.
Okay. I'd like for everyone to close their eyes for just a moment. Think back to the first time, your first Toastmasters meeting. Maybe you first drive, maybe you felt some fear, anxious, unsure, vulnerable. And now I would like you to think about how you felt after the meeting. Accomplished, fulfilled, happy. You could open your eyes now. So what I'd like to share with you today is my journey of my first Toastmasters meeting, and then the single habit which helped me progress since that first meeting. How I went from level 1 to level 10. Now, what I hope that you gain from this is, I hope that you could use this habit to then progress just as you have from the first meeting and overcome those feelings of fear. Now, it all started back in August of last year. It was a meeting in Irvine. The meeting was called the Contrarians. I was late. I was about 5 minutes behind. I was driving. I was feeling fearful, nervous, a little bit, sweaty palms, couldn't find parking. I went inside, went up the stairs. There was a sign which says Toastmasters, where leaders are made. I'm like, whoa. I open the door and I see a group of people, about 30 to 40 people, all sitting in this type of arrangement. And then some guy stands up, turns around and says, hey, you must be new. What's your name? And I said, yeah, I'm new. It's my first Toastmasters meeting. I have no idea what to expect. So he gave me a piece. He gave me some paper. He said, here, put your name down here, email and all this information. So I'd sit down, write my email, name, phone number, my 5 closest friends, social security number, banking information. And then I took a seat, and finally, I was ready to start my first Toastmasters meeting. The moment came when they called upon my name and they asked me to introduce myself. The moment they called my name, my heart started to pound. It fell to the floor as I got up to introduce myself. I was gasping for air. I said something along the lines of, I wanted to become a better speaker. My name is Moriel. And then I quickly sat down because it was too much for me to handle. What I've learned after that meeting was that I did something. What I did was I jumped. I had no other choice. And after that single meeting, I felt accomplished. I felt like I could achieve anything else if I just jumped into it. That same day, I went home and started scripting my 20-second script of how I'm going to introduce myself for the future, so I'll be more prepared. And I practiced that over and over and over again. So then the next day came. The next day I went to Laguna Beach Toastmasters. Is everyone? Okay. I went to Laguna Beach Toastmasters and I was prepared. I felt a lot more confident. Why? Because I knew how to introduce myself. There's nothing to be afraid of. I was called upon. I said, yes, my name is Moriel. I'm here to become a better speaker. I'm from New York and I'm excited to start this meeting. And it was Dave Makala who was running the table topics for that day. And guess who was called upon for a table topics question? This man. And so I was called upon, and then I started to feel those same feelings of fear, heart pounding, mind being cloudy, unsure of myself. But I remembered that moment when I jumped. And so I jumped again. I went up there, and David Makala gave me the question, is freedom really free? For my first table topics question. I was lost for words. I didn't know what to say. But after some time of just looking into the crowd, I finally came up with something to say. And I said, taxes or something like this. And after that, I sat back down and I felt better. I think it was, one of my neighbors said, hey, that was a great job. Keep coming, you'll do good. So it was a single action of jumping. And then my next move, I was scheduled to give an icebreaker, give my first speech to a crowd, something I've never done before. And again, I went there, I remember what happened the last time I jumped. And so I did it again. I went up there, I gave my speech of introduce myself, where I'm coming from, what my goals are, and what I'm here to do. And what I've learned is after I made that jump, everyone in Toastmasters supported me, and I grew from that moment. And so what I'd like to share with you is 3 tips of how to make this jump, because jumping is scary, and the sign of when you should jump is the fear, right? Fear is a signal to know if you should jump or not. You could be consumed by it, or you could use it as a signal for you to go ahead and jump. Here are 3 things. Number 1 thing, remember your why. Why are you in Toastmasters? Why are you doing anything that you are set out to do? If you just remember that why, that will help you make the jump easier. Second thing, visualize the best case scenario. Whether it's asking a girl on a date, knocking on that first door, always visualize the best case scenario. And number 3, just do it. Just do it. You're here. Nothing's going to happen. We're here, a supportive family. Just do it. Now, here are 3 things you could do to jump. One thing you could do in Toastmasters is just try new roles. Another thing you could do is introduce yourself to new guests and existing members. And the third thing you could do is incorporate new techniques into your speaking style. And here's my call to action to you. You don't have to start with a big jump. All you have to start with is a small jump. So here's my question for you. What's the smallest jump you could make tomorrow? Commit to that small jump and you'll see progress in your life. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. And Moriel, thank you for jumping and taking the leap of faith to take a last-minute speech.
Thank you.
How timely. Awesome. We're going to pause for a moment, and please send all feedback